So today we are going to be starting some seeds in the new greenhouse. We just built this. I'll have to give you guys a little showy show of it after. It's pretty warm in here. I don't know the exact temp, but we're still setting stuff up. Still kind of a work in progress, but for now I'm going to use it because it's colder outside, warmer in here, and we're going to start some seeds. So last week I started some seeds, but I'm not a huge fan of how the soil mixed up. I tried to make my own like starter mix, but it just didn't. It kind of clumped up and hardened into like a concrete. Not a fan of it, so I got some potting mix, and I'm wetting it right now. This stuff is so dry, so if you're starting seeds, you want to make sure that your soil is wet, because if you don't, it'll get like hydrophobic and all weird, and then it's not going to accept the water. So I'm just have it on this pump here, and I'm wetting it, mixing all this dry stuff up. That way, that's not a problem. But here, if you look at this dirt, it's just super dry. Very dry. And like I said, those, you put it in, it's just not going to love it. So I think I'm going to plant some peppers today because like I said, these peppers don't look the best. And I'd really just like to get a good crop in before it's too late because peppers need started a bit sooner. So I'm going to do some jalapenos, some bell peppers, and maybe some snacking peppers as well. And then from there, we'll just work with what we got and see what we can do. But first, I want to drill some holes down in these cups. So we're going to do that first. These will be my transplant. My transplant ones, I'll up the size from these cells to the cups whenever I need to. But I might start some stuff in here because I know it gets bigger. It's bigger faster. Like maybe try to put some cabbage or tomatoes in there. But for now, I'm just gonna fill up some trays and plant some peppers and get those done. Now this potting mix is a bit chippy because it's not starter mix obviously, but what you gotta watch whenever you're planting with this stuff, starting seeds, is you gotta watch out for these bigger wood chip pieces that are in here. What you don't want is them to be like, that's not huge, but there's like bigger ones. You don't want this stuff to be covering your seeds because it, obviously if there's something bigger and larger and heavy over top of them, they're not going to sprout. So want to watch with that today whenever we're planting. I also don't want to plant these too close to the surface. Pull some of this back. Then more runs off my hands because I don't want to stick my wet hands in a seed packet, and then I'll get seeds stuck to me. majority of what I wanted today. I was able to repot the cabbage. It was just looking a little wilty, and I thought a bigger size might help it out. I'm going to finish all of these off by giving them all a little drink of water. I have the new seeds on a heat lamp. I planted some of my snack peppers, which I showed you guys, the bell peppers, jalapenos, sunset cherry tomatoes, goji berries, and Roma tomatoes. All going on the heat mat with a lid I will put on just to humidify the area and help these seeds sprout a little easier. And then as for transplants, just move the cabbage around and I'll get these guys a good water along with all these other seeds. They don't need a heat mat, and they're getting too tall for the humidity roof thing. So these guys should do okay now. Still don't like the soil quality with these ones, but it's what I had on hand, and the tomatoes managed to come up, so I'm just gonna keep working with it till they get too big and I need to repot. But for now, I think everything looks pretty good. I'm pleased with it, and I hope that these seeds turn out okay. So next time you probably see these guys, it'll be a full plant. But for now, seeds are done, and I'm pretty happy with how this turned out.